Part 97. The Fragrance Falls Ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 961. Chapter 961, I know you are stupid. Xianxia's heavenly master power has been falling on Xianxia. She felt that the demonic energy was getting stronger and stronger, and it was getting closer and closer to her. She knew that Xianxia wanted to confront her directly. This is the first time the two of them have faced each other head-on from Tianqian continent to Xuanhuan continent. Xianxia is a little curious about what kind of person Xianxia is. Other than seeing the arrogant and proud Xianxia walking down the street in Tianshan Empire, Xianxia had never officially met Xianxia. At that time, Xianxia was only a teenager, and she looked like a young and beautiful girl. There is no way to tell that she is actually a vicious and cruel person secretly. Xianxia turned to Long Moran and said, "Mom, you and 11Er go to the front to help." After hearing what his children said, Long Moran immediately understood that Xianxia was coming. This was the code word they had set before to let her leave. Long Moran knew that she was also a burden here, but his daughter couldn't let go. He told her husband to leave quickly and ask them to come over and help. Moreover, there are hidden guards arranged by Zhuzhong from the Tianshan Empire hidden in the dark. They are stronger than her and are also people whom Zhuzhong trusts. Fang 11Er was a little worried, and ran, "I'll stay with Luoluo." Long Moran pulled Fang 11Er and walked out. Zhukong will come to accompany her later. Fang 11Er gave up after hearing this. If her mother is so relieved, she must have made arrangements, so she should just act according to their arrangements and not disrupt their plans. As soon as the two left, Xianxia came outside the palace. Her gloomy gaze shot out from the huge hood and looked at the luxurious bedroom, and the uncontrollable jealousy burst out from her heart. All of this should have been hers, but this woman, Xianxia, took everything away from her. You said that you have always been honest and treated as your waist, but you still want to compete with yourself. Today she wants to see how beautiful Xianxia is, and how she can charm the cold-blooded Zhuzhong like this. Xianxia had ignored Xianxia's own ability and strength in her heart, because she felt that she had used her beauty to confuse Zhuzhong. Xianxia sensed that the devil's aura was outside the palace door. She stood up and walked to the door of the palace, her eyes accurately falling on the inconspicuous black aura in the night. "Now that you're here, why are you still dazed?" Xianxia spoke softly, as if chatting with a familiar person. Her reaction surprised Xianxia. Shouldn't she be panic-stricken and disbelieving when she found out that Xianxia appeared on her face? How can you be so calm? There is no one in the entire continent who doesn't know that she, Xianxia, is the real devil. Isn't that person so scared when talking about her? Why is Xianxia so calm? The most important thing is that at this time, she has seen the beautiful Xianxia, who is wearing a bright red wedding dress and a luxurious phoenix crown, which makes her feel ashamed. The bright red wedding dress was not made of the expensive materials that ordinary people know at first glance. She was not ignorant, but at this time she could not tell what the material of the wedding dress was. Xianxia has liked to wear red dresses since she was a child, and she has not changed her hobby until she arrived in Xuanhuan continent. It was not like she had never seen Xianxia before, from a distance, but this was the first time she had seen her at such a close distance. Xianxia knew that Xianxia was indeed beautiful, otherwise she would have been known as the most beautiful woman when she was still known as a loser in the Tianshan Empire, but she really clearly and truly saw such a person who was much better than herself. As a woman, Xianxia knew that she was not only jealous but also unwilling. She has had outstanding looks and great talent since she was a child. She was brought up in the palm of her family. She is considered by the world to be the most beautiful girl of heaven, and even the princesses of the Tianshan Empire are not as valuable as her. Especially since her family wanted her to marry Zhuzhong, she always felt that her life was perfect to the extreme. But all this was disrupted by Yan Xiangluo. Although the former Yan Xiangluo had the title of the most beautiful woman in Tianshan, she did not take it seriously because she was a loser. As for her engagement with Ji Zhong, she did not take it seriously. Such an excellent woman, how could a man marry a good-for-nothing woman? But everything changed after Yan Xiangluo took the initiative to break off the engagement. "You are so calm, which makes me feel like a failure," Qin Suiyu said in a hoarse voice. Comparing such an unpleasant voice to Yan Xiangluo's silver bell-like voice, it was like heaven and earth. There is no way, her voice has been like this since she regained her identity as a clone demon and gained the demon's strength. It has nothing to do with gentleness, and it doesn't even sound like a woman's voice. Not only hers, but all the clone demons' voices are exactly the same regardless of gender. She has met the Demon Lord and knows that this is because they are all reincarnations of the Demon Lord, so after regaining the strength of the Demon Lord, their voices will naturally be the same as the Demon Lord. Yan Xiangluo smiled and hit her mercilessly. "Your life has been a failure." Qin Suiyu choked up. What Yan Xiangluo said was right. Her life was indeed a failure, but she would never allow these words to come out of Yan Xiangluo's mouth, let alone think this way. She was unwilling to be inferior to Yuan Xiang. "You are still so confident at this point. Does Ji Zhong know you are so stupid?" Qin Suiyu's hoarse voice became even more ugly because of the emphasis. Yan Xiangluo's voice was still as gentle as a silver bell. "The word stupid has nothing to do with me in this life, but I know Zhekong must know that you are stupid, there is no doubt about it." At this time, Qin Suiyu discovered that Yan Xiangluo was very talkative, and I was afraid that she would not be able to win if she wanted to argue with her. Qin Suiyu was in an extremely bad mood. "Don't talk nonsense, I'm curious about how capable you are to dare to confront me alone like this." Yan Xiangluo stretched out a finger and shook it gently. The slender and white fingers were very beautiful, but Qin Suiyu didn't understand what she meant. Yan Xiangluo said softly, "You are wrong." Qin Suiyu was stunned. "What did I do wrong?" Yu Xiangluo said, "I'm not as stupid as you." Yu Xiangluo slapped her palms twice, and suddenly countless auras came from outside the palace. Qin Suiyu's heart sank. She was not surprised at all that someone was guarding her outside the palace. After all, she was someone close to Ji Zhong's heart. How could Ji Zhong, who was so thoughtful and well-planned, not arrange for someone to protect Xiangluo? What surprised her was that she had already planned it. The demon team she had temporarily formed in the past few days had already entered through the inner gate of Zhuyuan City. It should be said that they were already fighting at this time. Why didn't she hear anything? What about the sound? The fragrance falls ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 962. Chapter 962. How powerful is it? Did they already know that they were going to take action on their wedding day? Is it possible? No matter how evil Ji Zhong's mind is, can he still guess the time when he will take action? However, there is no turning back when the bow is fired. This is the task assigned to her by the Demon Lord. If she cannot complete it, she will not be able to survive. Qin Suiyu raised her feet and walked out of the black air. Her slim figure was covered in a wide black robe. Her black-skinned hands were spread out, and her long nails exuded a dark and vicious aura. "It doesn't matter whether you are stupid or not, as long as I kill you, it will be a new beginning in my life." Yan Xiangluo's clear laughter spread. How can a clone demon talk about a new start in life? After all, it is just a reincarnation of the Demon Master's clone. The Demon Master has been sealed. Do you think you have a clone demon? How awesome is that? Qin Suiyu's eyes changed. She knew very well that Yan Xiangluo's calmness was not just a show of calmness, but the determination to really have everything under control. Qin Suiyu knew that she couldn't delay. Ji Zhong would arrive soon, and she had to kill Yan Xiangluo before Ji Zhong arrived, otherwise today's operation might fail. Qin Suiyu has never doubted Ji Zhong's strength and wisdom, but she is also confident that she is a demon clone and no one can kill her except the Demon Lord. And the Demon Lord is now sealed. He, who is running errands, will not give up easily. This is her confidence. Qin Suiyu laughed a few times, which was extremely unpleasant. Stop talking nonsense and risk your life. A huge black sphere appeared in Qin Suiyu's open hands. This was the strongest magic power she could brew. The Demon Lord said that this blow was too much for the Mahayana cultivation of the 9 heavens to withstand. The Jueyuan continent was just a lower continent under the 9 heavens, and even the highest cultivation people could not withstand her attack. Hence, Qin Suiyu was very confident in her attack. Seeing the demonic power brewed by Qin Suiyu, Yanxiangluo flew up and suspended in mid-air to avoid destroying their palace during the battle. Immediately, Huituanzi was released and he used his spiritual consciousness to communicate with Huituanzi. Huituanzi, dinner is ready. As soon as Huituanzi heard that there was food to be eaten, he immediately circled around Yanxiangluo in excitement. Qin Suiyu also flew up when Yanxiangluo rose into the air. The small black dumpling did not attract Qin Suiyu's attention. She just glanced at it and then launched her attack neatly. Obviously the demonic energy burst out from her hands, but the powerful demonic energy made Yanxiangluo feel that it was surrounded from all directions. This is the first time she has faced the power of the devil directly. She also saw the power of the clone demons in the first place of training, so she knew very well that Qin Suiyu's magic power was much stronger than those of the clone demons. Yanxiangluo couldn't help but lament Qin Suiyu's luck. It was obvious that she had received help from the Demon Lord. However, she also understood that the reason why Qin Suiyu was able to get the help of the Demon Lord to keep her and not devour her power must be because of herself. The Demon Lord wants to kill him before he breaks through the seal, and the only demon clone in Jueyuan continent is Qin Suiyu. No matter how strong the Demon Lord is, he cannot clone himself to kill him under the seal. Therefore, he can only rely on the reincarnation of his previous clones. Qin Suiyu should have grasped this, so she got stronger with the help of the Demon Lord. Yanxiangluo looked at Qin Suiyu excitedly. This was a good opportunity to understand the power of magic. Since the Demon Lord wants to kill him, he must not be stingy with Qin Suiyu. The power Qin Suiyu possesses now must be the strongest power the Demon Lord can give. Just when Qin Suiyu's attack came over, the wedding dress on Yanxiangluo's body quickly changed and turned into a battle dress. It fit her body and was very convenient for fighting, but it was still as elegant as gauze. Even the phoenix crown on her head was turned into a battle helmet, and the delicate and perfect face of Yanxiangluo was more resolute. At the same time, the long caltrip gun appeared in her hand, and the spiritual energy was injected into it. The long caltrip gun danced in a circle in front of her, just in time to collide with Qin Suiyu's demonic energy. To Qin Suiyu's expectation, Yanxiangluo was thrown backward by her magic attack. She happily chased after her, and at the same time she struck out with another blow. Even if the first blow could not kill Yanxiangluo, she could not catch the second blow. Although Yanxiangluo was well prepared and knew that she might not be able to block Qin Suiyu's attack, she was still shocked by the intensity of the attack. The Demon Lord's power was indeed strong enough. She was already prepared to be hit out, and she flew out in cooperation, taking away part of the demon's attack power, but her internal organs were still surging. Had Huituanzi not blocked her in front, she might have been seriously injured. Seeing Huituanzi standing in front of him and starting to eat, he also saw Qin Suiyu chasing after him and launching a second attack. Yanxiangluo looked at the opportunity and let go of the Changling spear at the same time as Qin Suiyu's second attack. The Changling spear was still spinning in place, and Yanxiangluo's figure flashed, teleported away, and appeared behind Qin Suiyu. Dodged Qin Suiyu's second attack. A long sword appeared in her hand. It was the gentleman's sword that she had not used for a long time. The Junzi sword can only kill evil people. There are so many absolutely evil people in the world, so she usually uses a long rhombus spear in battle. But today she was fighting a demon, and she didn't have to worry about accidentally injuring a good person when using the gentleman's sword. At this time, Yan Xianglou felt that the Junzi sword was a natural weapon for dealing with demons. Perhaps I was destined to encounter the Junzi sword and be recognized by the master who refined them. It was this fate. Everything in the world has a cause and a result. All thoughts were in one thought, and the Junzi sword in Yu Xiangluo's hand was already heading towards Qin Sui's back. Just when Ruan Xiangluo fell behind Qin Sui sensed the crisis behind her, but she never thought it was Ruan Xiangluo. After all, although she could not see Ruan Xiangluo's figure, her weapon Changling spear was still there, so she thought it was Zhizhong who saw them fighting and came over. She thought to herself that Yan Xiangluo would definitely not be able to dodge her 2 attacks and would definitely die. As long as she took the blow from Zhizhong and confirmed that Yan Xiangluo was dead, her mission would be completed and she could concentrate on summoning her. The summoned demon slaves concentrated on dealing with Zhizhong. She must make Zhizhong her slave. Hence, she turned around and at the same time concentrated her magic power to attack. But when she saw that the person who attacked her was not Zhizhong as she thought, but Yu Xiangluo, she suddenly looked shocked. How can it be? Didn't the demon lord say that even the powerful Mahayana warriors in the 9 heavens could not withstand her attack? Although Ruan Xiangluo was already the strongest in the 9 Yuan continent, she was only at the 9th level of transcending tribulations. How could she attack her twice? Undamaged under attack. Yan Xiangluo looked at the oncoming demonic energy. Hey, Tuanzi was eating over there. She could only rely on herself for this attack. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Fragrance Falls Ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 963. Chapter 963, Go there in person. Yan Xiangluo wanted to see what the difference was between the power of demons and the demonic aura of demon cultivators. After all, she has already introduced demonic energy into her body before and understands the demonic aura of demon cultivators, but she will not easily try to introduce demonic power into her body. In the final analysis, the demonic energy of demon cultivators has different strength only in different cultivation methods. The body will not be exposed to the demonic energy for a long time, so it will cause rejection and discomfort. However, the power of demons is really the power of evil. Hence, when Qin Sui attacked, she immediately used a mysterious isolation pattern on herself. It is also a relatively high-level mysterious pattern in Ji's seal. The isolation mysterious pattern she uses is carved by Jijukan's pattern, which is stronger than the isolation mysterious pattern she carved. Not only does she have it, but everyone else also has it, just to prepare for the magic tonight. Although it is not known whether the function of the isolation mysterious pattern can block the attack of Qin Sui's magic power, it can still be done to block the attack of the pseudo-demon brought by Qin Sui. At this time, the people brought by Qin Sui in the inner city used various methods to enter the inner city. Of course, it was Zhizhong who deliberately asked people to let them in. There were few people in the inner city but many strong ones. When fighting, it would not affect ordinary people. Zhizhong had already seen Yan Xiangluo and Qin Sui in mid-air, and immediately came from the air. Yan Xiangluo sent a message to Zhizhong, asking him not to intervene yet. He did not retreat at all. He held the gentleman's sword and ran directly towards Qin Sui. The calmness and confidence she displayed meant in Qin Sui's eyes that Yan Xiangluo was not afraid of her magic power at all. Qin Sui's heart suddenly felt uneasy. Do they have any way to break the magic? If Xiangluo used mind-reading skills at this time, she would definitely feel speechless. If they had a way to break the magic, How could there be so many powerful men with great saint cultivation who sacrificed their lives just to seal the demon lord? It's just that she is confident because there are magic beads and black dumplings, and there is Pangu space where she can escape. Xuanhuan heard Yan Xiangluo's message and stopped, suspended in the air and watching the two fight, ready to respond at any time. When Yan Xiangluo really came into contact with the power of the devil, she still felt that she was not cautious enough and underestimated the magic power. The gentleman's sword in her hand is not afraid of magic. It will automatically avoid the magic when it encounters the gentleman's sword. But if you avoid the gentleman's sword in her hand, it will wrap up around her. Although the isolation pattern used on her body can resist the magic at first, it will soon be eroded by the magic. Yuan Xiangluo was shocked by the power of magic power, but he was not afraid of the power of Xuanhuan. Just when the magic power gathered and rushed towards her body, when Yuan Xiangluo was about to enter the space to escape, Pangu, which had been quiet since it was turned on, burst out with a strong light from her heart, instantly defeating all the demons around her. Guess. Not a single trace is left, completely destroyed. Yan Xiangluo was shocked and burst into surprise at the same time. She didn't expect that Pangu flower could have this effect and could actually expel magic. In this case, can she kill the doppelganger Xianxia? After all, their original plan was to trap Xianxia. If they could kill her completely, they would be done with it and avoid future troubles. Thinking of this, Yan Xiangluo looked at Xianxia with burning eyes. Xuanhuan originally used his spiritual power to rush over, but when he saw the light erupting from her body, he withdrew his power. At this time, he did not know that this was the power erupted by Pangu, but knowing that she was fine, he resisted the impulse. Continue to watch where you are. Xianxia was also stunned at this time. She didn't expect that Yan Xiangluo really had a way to deal with her magic power, so how could she complete the task today? If she fails to complete the task, she will be obliterated by the demon lord. This is something she absolutely does not want to happen. She has given up so much to get to where she is today, and finally has the hope of becoming stronger and the chance to crush Xuanhuan and Yan Xiangluo. How can she be willing to lose it like this? Thinking of this, Xianxia immediately contacted the demon lord. This is what she learned when she returned to the 9UN continent. No matter where she is, the demon lord can contact her and give her power across time and space. Of course, he can also control her life and death. Hence, she was sure that she could not escape from the clutches of the demon lord. After returning to the 9UN continent before, she did not complete the task. After knowing the news, she became honest and focused on completing the mission and then returning to the demon lord to plan the future. After all, she still covets the demon lord's magic power. She doesn't believe that she can never get rid of the demon lord. Demon lord, I don't know what the light erupting from Yan Xiangluo's body is. It can instantly defeat the magic power. What should I do? Xianxia immediately told the demon lord the situation. The sealed demon lord became violent after hearing Xianxia's words. No wonder the old man transferred the task of suppressing him to Yu Xiangluo. From the task of suppression to her, he felt that the seal that was about to be broken through was strengthened again. It would take at least another 3 years for him to find another chance to break through the seal. He also wondered why this girl had such strong power. It turned out that there was something strange about that girl that could actually defeat his magic power. So many great sages and powerful men were unable to defeat his magic power. How did a little girl do it? But now is not the time to think about these things. He wants to think about how to get rid of her while she is still weak. Now is definitely the best opportunity. If you miss this opportunity, I don't know how high she will grow next time you meet her, and it will be even more difficult to solve. Thinking about it, he can only be sure if he takes action himself, but he is sealed here again. Suddenly the demon lord thought of a way, and a black aura condensed from his body. He immediately said to Xianxia, "Don't resist, I will go and help you personally." Xianxia was stunned. She was curious about how the demon lord could come to help her in person when he was sealed. But she had no choice. Since the devil asked her not to resist, she would not resist. Just when she relaxed her body and consciousness, a force that was not her own rushed into her body, and she immediately lost consciousness. Before losing consciousness, Xianxia was extremely panicked. At this time, she knew that her body had been taken away by the demon lord, but she could not resist at all. After all, this body itself was the reincarnation of the demon lord's clone and belonged to the demon lord. She also can't resist. Before Xianxia lost consciousness, she prayed in her heart that the devil would not give up on her. Yanxiangluo felt it when the demon lord's breath invaded Xianxia's body. After all, she is a celestial master, and her other abilities are not as good as when she was in the 9 heavens in her previous life, but when it comes to medical skills, alchemy, and celestial master strength, she knows very well that she is stronger in this life than in the previous one. The Fragrance Falls Ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 964. Chapter 964. Let's try it. Although Xianxia's strength has greatly increased due to the blessing of the demon lord, her own body and soul strength are not strong enough. To put it bluntly, the body has not been truly tempered. It is like a balloon that has been blown up. If the body is not strong enough, there will naturally be hidden dangers that the strength is not commensurate with the physical strength. Therefore, although her magic power is very strong now, in Yanxiangluo's eyes, her soul body is like a transparent person. She can see clearly that Xianxia's soul body is wrapped in a mass of black air. This mass of black energy suddenly rushed into Xianxia's body. After the black energy rushed in, Yanxiangluo noticed that Xianxia's eyes were very different from before. Previously, Xianxia's eyes expressed many emotions, such as jealousy, pride, unwillingness, anxiety, etc., but now the emotion in her eyes was only cold contempt. It was the look of someone looking at ants from a high position all year round. It was impossible for Xianxia to have such a look. Even though Yanxiangluo used the power of the heavenly master, she could not see clearly what the black aura was, but she sensed that Xianxia, the magic power on her body, suddenly became stronger, and Yanxiangluo had a guess. It should be that the demon lord did something to Xianxia. It is very likely that the demon lord came out again and used Xianxia's body to kill him. I have to say that Yanxiangluo's guess is very close to 10. The demon lord knew very well that this was the best opportunity to get rid of Yanxiangluo, and after being sealed for thousands of years, the demon lord's desire to condense another clone would have a great impact on his own strength. After all, condensing a clone is actually dividing the power from himself. It will take him at least several months of practice to recover the divided power. Although he also felt sorry for his own power, there was no other way at this time. He could not miss this opportunity to kill Yanxiangluo. Being sealed, he cannot form a clone and leave the sealing place, but if he has the body of the clone demon as a carrier, he can, but it will consume more magic power. Ho ho! The demon lord finally saw Yanxiangluo with his own eyes and laughed a few times. Yanxiangluo was disgusted. The sound was too unpleasant. Xianxia's voice was already unpleasant enough before, but now this sound can scare a child to death. Yanxiangluo held the Junzi sword in one hand and channeled his spiritual power in the other, getting ready for defense and attack. You are not Xianxia, Yanxiangluo said with certainty. The demon lord looked at her sinisterly. How could this demon lord be that idiot like her? Yanxiangluo's eyes narrowed, and it turned out to be the demon lord. Although she knew very well that the demon lord's body was sealed in the first training place, she was now responsible for suppressing him. She knew very well that the suppressed demon lord was still there, so Xianxia's body it should be the clone of the demon lord. Today they just wanted to deal with Xianxia, but they didn't expect that they could actually lead to the real demon lord's clone. Xianxia's magic power was given by the demon lord. It was already powerful enough. Now, the magic power of the clone condensed from the demon lord's body would be even stronger without even thinking about it. Although Pangu Flower can help her defeat the magic power, this is also a critical moment. Yan Xianglao has a hunch in her heart that she must not expose Pangu Flower in front of the demon lord, otherwise the consequences will be disastrous. Yan Xianglao's mind was spinning rapidly. What should I do? Their plan before was to trap Xianxia, but now that Xianxia's body is the demon lord's clone, it may not be possible to trap Xianxia. They can't find a way to kill the demon now, unless she uses the Pangu Flower. The key is that this is too risky. If Xianxia's body cannot be killed with one blow, the demon lord will definitely try to destroy it when he discovers the Pangu Flower. Let alone myself, I am not sure whether I can save my own life by saving Pangu Hua. Although the demon lord wants to kill himself, he will not pay a high price for it. If he knew that the Pangu Flower existed that could restrain his magic power, the demon lord would definitely kill her and destroy the Pangu Flower regardless of the cost. Then things will be bad. The devil will just get a few more clones. Not to mention them, even the 9UN city will no longer exist. She was sure of this. How powerful the demon lord was proven once thousands of years ago. Therefore, we must not offend the demon lord now, and we must find a way to destroy Xianxia's body, so that no matter how powerful the demon lord is, his true form cannot come out now. They still have time to become stronger. I didn't have the chance to participate in the battle to seal you 10,000 years ago. It would be good to meet you first if I have the chance today. Although Yan Xianglao was unsure, she didn't show it on her face at all. Ji Zhong knew there was a change of plan when Xianxia changed. He ducked to Yan Xianglao's side and asked via voice transmission, "What's going on?" Yan Xianglao said, "Xianxia's body is now the clone of the demon lord." One sentence made Ji Zhong understand that the person they were dealing with now was not Xianxia, but the demon lord. With a raised brow, the plan was disrupted. "Luoluo, step back, I'll do it," Ji Zhong said immediately. If he was facing Xianxia, he could rest assured and let Luoluo practice. But now he was facing the demon lord. He was not at ease. He knew very well that the demon lord wanted to kill him. "Luoluo," Yu Xianglao said, "my gentleman's sword is not afraid of magic power." At this time, it is impossible for her to let Ji Zhong deal with the demon lord alone. It is more likely that they will win together. The demon lord roared twice more, "No one of you two can run away today." Ji Zhong and Yan Xianglao screamed in unison, even their expressions of disgust were exactly the same. As they have come so far, there are many people who have this idea, but none of them have succeeded. The demon lord has never been so scorned by someone. He was so angry that he said, "A calf is not afraid of tigers." In the face of absolute strength, it is useless whether you are afraid or not. You should suffer death. Ji Zhong raised his hand, and his long weapon appeared in his hand. "We are confident." The demon lord glanced at the crowd fighting not far away and said sarcastically, "You are not even a group of real demons. You have tried so hard and still haven't solved them. Where do you get the confidence to fight against this demon lord?" Ji Zhong sneered, "Those scum are here to train them. We must let them see what magic is like. As for where we got the confidence to try it, we will know." Hearing this, the demon lord admired them a little. They were indeed very courageous. "Then let's try it," the demon advocated and opened his hand, looking at Xianxia's hands as thin as chicken paws with disgust, but there was no way, he couldn't come out now, and he could come out with the body of the clone demon. It came out for the first time in 10,000 years. Without the body of the clone demon that is sealed, the clone cannot be condensed and left. At this time, he felt a little regretful. He should have reincarnated all the clone demons into men. Ji Zhong's golden long stick in his hand was the first to attack, facing off against the demon lord. The fragrance falls ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 965. Chapter 965. Three people join forces. Yan Xianglou followed immediately with the Junzi sword in hand. After all, what they were facing was the clone of the demon lord, which was different from the cloned demon. Although the two of them had tough words, they actually did not dare to underestimate him at all. Yan Xianglou and Ji Zhizhong didn't reserve any strength when they faced the demon lord, and they fought with all their strength. The peak strength of the 9th level of Duja, with strong fighting power and strong destructive power. Although they are in mid-air, the people on the ground are also affected by the power they leak. The spiritual power is not bad, at least they can avoid it. After all, the people who can stay in the inner city are very strong, and they are all strong men in the mainland. There are almost no people who can't avoid it. Even if you can't dodge, you will only be injured and will not be eroded. But magic power is different. It is the power of a real demon, and many people cannot avoid it. They all quickly used the isolation mysterious pattern given to them by Ji Zhizhong to avoid being eroded by magic power. Demon King Ge Tianjun has been paying attention to the demon lord at this time. According to the plan, he should not take action now, but he has sensed that something is wrong with Qin Suiyu. He was very sure that although it was still Qin Suiyu's body, she was definitely not the one controlling Qin Suiyu's body. He knew that the plan had changed without asking him. Chenjai also realized that something was wrong. Because Long Moran was a heavenly master who could see clearly better than them, he immediately told them what she saw. Ge Tianjun and Zhu Chenjai are both extremely smart people, and they immediately understood that Qin Suiyu's body was controlled by the devil. No wonder Qin Suiyu suddenly became so strong. Ge Tianjun said to Chenjai, "Father, I'll go over to help." "Stepfather, keep this place stable. We don't ask for help and don't let anyone pass. If things turn around, I'm afraid we have to carry out the original plan." Yu Chenjai warned, "Be careful." Ge Tianjun nodded and rose into the air, joining forces with Ji Zhizhong and Yuan Xianglou to fight against the demon lord. At this time, the people here also noticed that something was wrong with Yan Xianglou and the others, and they were smart enough to get close to Yan Chenjai and ask what was going on. Yu Chenjai did not hide anything and directly told these people their suspicions. Qin Suiyu's body should be controlled by the devil. Everyone was shocked. They were all powerful people from all over the mainland. They knew very well that Qin Suiyu was not so strong when she fought against Yan Xianglou. It was suddenly enhanced just now. After the enhancement, Ji Zhizhong and Demon King Ge Tianjun both went over to help. The three of them didn't seem to have the upper hand even if they joined forces, and this was still the demon lord controlling the body of the cloned demon to fight. If it were the demon lord himself, how powerful would he be? They have personally experienced the evil side of magic, which is completely different from the demonic chi cultivated by demon cultivators. They can also exclude the demonic chi from their bodies. They are almost unable to guard against the magic power. If it weren't for the isolation mysterious text given to them by Ji Zhizhong, I'm afraid they would have become the devil's sons and grandsons by now. "Is there any chance of winning?" someone asked worriedly. Yu Chenjai glanced at the person who asked the question indifferently. Is this still the main problem now? They have to fight whether they have a chance of winning or not. The demon lord has appeared in the body of the demon clone. Do they have any other choice besides winning? If everyone loses, they will either die or become the slaves of the demon son, and demon lord. The man said sarcastically, "I just want to ask what we can do." Yu Chenjai glanced at the people who were originally demon cultivators and spiritual cultivators brought by Qin Suiyu. Most of them were evil cultivators. Get rid of them with one sentence. Yu Chenjai made it clear to everyone that they could not do anything to help the real demons. They could only clean up the battlefield and eradicate these monks, traitors, and evil cultivators, without giving them any additional resources. The rest of the trouble was a big help to them. In an instant, everyone no longer retained their strength and wanted to eradicate these traitorous monks and evil cultivators as soon as possible. At this time, Yan Xiangluo, Ji Zhizhong, and Ji Tianjun looked solemn. Only when they actually fought against the demon did they realize how powerful the demon was. The most important thing was that after fighting for such a long time, their spiritual power was being consumed rapidly, but Qin Suiyu, whose body was occupied by the demon lord, did not see any weakening of her strength at all. It is becoming more and more difficult for the three of them to deal with it. If this continues, there is no point in talking about eliminating demons. Yan Xiangluo and Ji Zhizhong once again understood why a strong man who sacrificed so many great saints thousands of years ago could only seal the demon lord. This shows how powerful the real demon lord is. None of the three are reckless, and they were all thinking about how to win the battle while fighting. The key lies in the body of Qin Suiyu, the clone demon. Qin Suiyu himself is not strong because there is a clone of the demon lord in his body, and the demon lord's clone needs to rely on a clone demon like Qin Suiyu to come out. Hence, if you want to win this battle, you must destroy Qin Suiyu's body, but the clone demon cannot be killed. Things seem to have entered an endless loop with no solution. Ji Zhizhong sent a message to the two of them, continuing like this is not an option. We must find a way to destroy Qin Suiyu's body. Although the clone demon cannot be killed, we still have to give it a try. Let's try using fire attacks first. Ji Tianjun immediately agreed and said, I'll go first. The three of them are all five-element geniuses. They all have their own fire element flames, and Yan Xiangluo also possesses the flames of the five-element fire bead. Using fire attack is the best way they can think of at present. Yu Xiangluo and Ji Zhizhong immediately became the main attackers, covering Ji Tianjun's use of flames to attack Qin Suiyu's body. Ji Tianjun found the right moment and immediately released his fire flames without hiding any secrets. It was the strongest flame he could release from the fire spirit root. Because he is a demon cultivator, his flames are black. When the flames come out, people in the distance can feel the intense burning sensation. It was only then that they saw the true strength of the demon king. The demon lord did not expect that they would use fire attacks without warning, and they were really attacked by Ji Tianjun's flames. In an instant, Qin Suiyu's loose robe and hair were burned, revealing her face covered with black lines. The demon lord became furious. He, the demon lord, personally took action. Not only could he not capture three ants in an instant, but he was actually attacked by them. This was a great shame and humiliation for him. He raised his hand and used powerful magic power to scatter Ji Tianjun's flames, and then counterattacked with magic power so fast that Ji Tianjun had no time to react. If Ji Zhizhong and Yuan Xiangluo hadn't been paying attention to Ji Tianjun's safety and immediately joined forces to rescue him, it's hard to say whether Ji Tianjun would be alive at this time. Ji Tianjun's attack was unsuccessful and completely angered the demon lord. The magic power used to attack them increased instantly, and he obviously wanted to quickly deal with them. At this time, the demon lord was also very angry. If he had killed these three ants with one finger before, he had allowed them to jump in front of him for so long. The three of them were suddenly unable to cope with the situation, and their expressions were solemn. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Fragrance Falls Ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 966. Chapter 966 Xiao's ability. The three of them knew very well that if the fire attack didn't work, what other way could destroy Qin Suiyu's body? At this moment, Yan Xiangluo's eyes lit up. Why had she forgotten the stone nest? It could refine all things in the world, including the body of the devil. Yan Xiangluo immediately communicated with Shiwo. Wo, can you refine the body of the clone demon? Shiwo immediately responded excitedly, Master, I haven't refined the body of a doppelganger yet, you can give it a try. Xiwo is interested in things that have never been refined. Yan Xianglue suddenly had an idea in her mind. Even if Xiwo couldn't refine Qin Sui's body, she could still trap Qin Sui. Coupled with her Tianqi power and Jizhong's mysterious pattern power, Qin Sui's body could be sealed. It should work. She immediately told Jizhong and Ge Tianjun what she thought. Although Ge Tianjun didn't know how powerful her alchemy furnace was, he knew that his sister couldn't talk big words. Since she said it, she must be able to do it. Jizhong naturally knew Xiwo's strength. Although he was not sure whether Xiwo could refine the body of the clone demon, he had the same idea as Yuan Xianglue, and it would be no problem to trap Qin Sui's body. But how can we lead the demon lord into the stone nest now? This seems difficult to do. Jizhong narrowed his eyes. Since he can't be introduced, let him fall in. Jizhong came up with a solution in an instant. Luoluo, my sworn brother and I are attacking from above, and you are looking for an opportunity below to let Xiwo get Qin Sui's body in to refine it. Okay, Yan Xianglue said without hesitation. The three of them were all connected through voice transmission, and the three of them had already started taking action during the discussion process. At this time, the powerful men from all sides in the mainland have eradicated all the traitors and evil cultivators. The corpses all over the place made them deeply realize that not all monks hated the devil deeply, and many of them gave up their bottom line as human beings for their own benefit. They also know that the demon cultivator is not an evil person. With a real comparison with the demon cultivator is just a different cultivation method, and they still stand with their spiritual cultivator at the critical moment. For example, didn't the demon king Ge Tianjun fight the demons together with Jizhong and Yan Xianglue? At the same time, the powerful strength of the demon lord also made them understand how difficult the road to eliminate demons is. At this time, their personal grievances and interests were so insignificant that they were forgotten when the entire human race was about life and death. Especially among them, many of them followed Jizhong into the first training place. They had seen so many demon clones, and they realized that eliminating demons was as difficult as climbing to the sky. Jizhong and Ge Tianjun quietly began to move the attack position, and soon moved to Qin Sui's body. Although the demon lord knew that they must have some conspiracy, he could not guess their purpose. Yuan Xianglue was also sinking lower and lower. Those who saw it thought that Yuan Xianglue was about to run out of spiritual power. Even the demon lord thought so. He was going to find an opportunity to deal with Yuan Xianglue first. After all, his purpose was kill Yu Xianglue. Some people who still had a sense of justice saw this and immediately stepped forward to help. He was stopped in time by Yu Chenjai. Don't disturb them. The people who were going to help were stunned. Yan Xianglue was obviously showing signs of failure due to lack of spiritual power. Why weren't they allowed to help? Besides, although their cultivation level has not reached the 9th level of transcending tribulation, they can still be regarded as strong men in the mainland. Why are they interrupting when they go to help? Just when this doubt first emerged, they saw Yan Xianglue, who had fallen below, quickly throw out a small object. The little thing was thrown at Qin Sui's feet by Yan Xianglue. Before they could see what it was, they saw that the little thing had grown up in an instant, and it suddenly grew to the size of a house. At the same time, it rushed upward, just in time to swallow Qin Sui's body. And Yan Xianglue waved her hand and closed the lid neatly. Everyone was stunned. They looked like they were going to be defeated just now, but the devil was caught in the blink of an eye. No wonder their father stopped them, they were really disturbing in the past. Jizhong and Ge Tianjun saw that Yu Xianglue had successfully trapped Qin Sui's body into the stone nest. They quickly released flames and fell under the stone nest at the same time, not giving the demon lord any chance to breathe. The two of them were suspended in mid-air, looking at the stone nest at their feet. They kept releasing flames with their hands. At the same time, they were also prepared to prevent the stone nest from suppressing the demon lord in case he rushed out. They could still suppress the demon lord in time. At the same time that the lid of the stone nest was closed, Xianxia threw the fire bead. She did not hide her secrets this time. Instead of using part of the fire bead's flame, she threw the fire bead directly. The flames of Xuanhuan and Tianjun are not strong enough. As soon as the fire bead fell under the stone nest, it immediately released its strongest flames and enveloped the stone nest. In an instant, the entire Xuanhuan city was roasted into a steam oven by the flames of the fire bead. Xuanhuan and Tianjun quickly retracted their flames. It would be redundant for them to release the flames now. The strength of the two of them has been almost exhausted, so they can no longer waste it to prepare for emergencies. Everyone in the outer city has never known what happened in the inner city, and they have been watching the battle in the sky in confusion. The city lord of Xuanhuan city is getting married. Who is so ignorant that he dares to pick this day to provoke? They were puzzled. Even if today was not their city lord's wedding, who would dare to provoke them? Both the husband and wife are the strongest in the mainland. But when they saw that the city lord, his wife, and the demon king could not defeat each other, they realized that the other party was the legendary doppelganger in recent days. At first, they thought they were going to be defeated, and some people even wanted to flee Xuanhuan city immediately. At this moment, they saw Xianxia using a huge alchemy furnace to cover the demon clone. Suddenly, they lost all other thoughts and stared at the alchemy furnace, their hearts beating nervously. I was praying in my heart that Xianxia's alchemy furnace could refine the demon clone and get rid of this big scourge. However, many of them knew that the clone demon could not be killed at all, but they prayed that Xianxia's alchemy furnace could trap the clone demon. They feel that as long as they can trap the clone demon and prevent it from causing trouble to the 9UN continent, that is the best result. Most of Xianxia's spiritual power had been consumed by the battle. Fortunately, Xiwo and Fire Pearl did not require her to use her spiritual power to control them. She only gave an order to use all her strength to refine Xianxia's body. The demon lord who was imprisoned in the stone nest was extremely angry. He, the majestic demon lord, was actually plotted by 3 little ants. He was even more humiliated than when he was sealed. You can imagine his anger. The demon lord controlled Xianxia's body and tried his best to break free. The fragrance falls ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 967. Chapter 967, Such a Big Fate. How could Xiwo let him break free? Naturally, he used all his strength to suppress the demon lord. However, even though the demon lord only came as a clone, Xuanhuan and the 3 of them were also very powerful and couldn't defeat him. Hence, as the demon lord struggled violently and trembled, the stone nest kept changing its position. The fire beads cooperate very well. No matter where the stone nest is moved, the fire beads are firmly underneath it, and the flames always wrap the stone nest completely. Xiwo's color changed visibly to the naked eye. This was the first time that Xianxia had seen this happen to Xiwo. It can be seen that this is the first time that Xiwo has encountered a difficult challenge in his refining career. The entire Xuanhuan city felt like it was roasting on hot coals, and Xuanhuan and Tianjun, who were so close to them, couldn't stand the scorching heat. Even with their spiritual power, their skin began to turn red. Xuanhuan couldn't spare the time to use the isolation mysterious pattern. It felt like my body was going to burn as soon as I released my strength. Because Xianxia is the owner of the fire bead, the flames of the fire bead cannot harm her and she cannot feel the heat at all. Xianxia came to her senses only after seeing the situation of the 2 of them, and immediately shouted, "Zhekong, brother, you guys should stay away quickly." Xuanhuan and Tianjun heard this and knew that they could not stay any longer, otherwise the demon lord would be refined without them knowing, and they would be refined as well. Sure enough, in terms of physical bodies alone, their physical strength is incomparable to that of demons. Therefore, as soon as Yan Xianglou shouted, the two of them retreated to the distance quickly and swiftly. Withdrawing to where everyone was, Zhizhong finally made free time, raised his hand and released a mysterious isolation pattern to block everyone. The temperature of the flames suddenly weakened. Although it was still very hot, everyone felt better, at least able to hold on. They also have a deep understanding of the G family's Xuanhuan technique. It is indeed so powerful that it is beyond their reach. There is indeed a reason why those Xuanhuan masters have wanted to obtain G seal for thousands of years. The Xuanhuan master doesn't want such a powerful Xuanhuan technique. However, at this time, none of the Xuanhuan masters among them had the idea of coveting the G seal, because they knew very well that coveting the G seal was equivalent to seeking death. Who is Zhizhong's opponent now? Not to mention how powerful his Xuanhuan technique is, even his cultivation level is not something they can challenge. Wan Enluo walked up to her brother-in-law and looked at her brother-in-law with admiration. Look, so many strong men are not as powerful as his brother-in-law. Of course, the most powerful one is his sister, and his brother-in-law can only be ranked second. Ruan Enluo's eyes fell proudly on her sister. Look, my sister is still very powerful and can catch even the devil. Yan Xiangluo's consciousness focused on Qin Sui's body in the stone nest. Sure enough, it is the body of the clone demon. It is indeed very powerful. The flames of the fire beads are just a small cluster of them, not to mention the full-strength flames. If other things touch it, they will be wiped out. However, Qin Sui's body is still intact. Yan Xiangluo thought about it. The fire beads and flames she usually used to make elixirs were only 1 inch long. This comparison shows how powerful the demon's body is. Yan Xiangluo is very curious, isn't the demon's body also grown from human flesh? How can it be so powerful just because it is a demon? It's not normal. Although Qin Sui's body has not been burned, her clothes and hair are not that strong. Now Qin Sui is naked and bald. It is really eye-catching to look at. Fortunately, other people can't see it, otherwise it's really embarrassing. However, Yan Xiangluo also admitted that Qin Sui's figure was really voluptuous, no wonder Lu Yu didn't dislike it. Yan Xiangluo knew that Lu Yu felt extremely disgusted as soon as Qin Sui appeared. He was very curious about how he fell in love with this woman in the first place. Thinking about the many women I had in the past, I am afraid that none of these women were serious, and I felt even more disgusting. There is a reason why Yan Xiangluo despises herself, and the reason is all on him. Lu Yu had already given up on women, but now he was a little disgusted with women, so much so that he would never touch women again. Yan Xiangluo was not as calm as she appeared on the surface at this time, and was very anxious in her heart. If the flames of the fire beads cannot refine Qin Sui's body, then they can only find a way to trap her. However, there is a clone of the demon lord in Qin Sui's body, so it is not easy to trap her. What to do? Yan Xiangluo's little head was spinning rapidly. At this moment, she saw Qin Sui's soul body in the demon lord's clone. Although it was only for a moment, she could see clearly that Qin Sui's soul body seemed to be asleep. Yan Xiangluo's eyes lit up. Why did she get so confused? The body belongs to Qin Sui. As long as Qin Sui's soul body is destroyed, the body will naturally lose its role as a demon clone. Even though the demon lord's clone is inside, because it is not his body, although Qin Sui's body can be used, it cannot increase the strength of her body. It is not easy to refine Qin Sui's body. Without the body, no matter how powerful the demon lord's clone is, what can he do? Thinking of this, Yan Xiangluo immediately communicated with Shiwo. Wo, I want to use the power of the heavenly master to go in and destroy Qin Sui's soul. Don't stop my power from entering. Okay, Master Shiwo responded immediately. As expected, the demon's body is so difficult to refine. This is the first time it has encountered something so smelly and so difficult to refine. It seems that it also needs to improve its strength, otherwise what will happen if it encounters the demon lord himself in the future? Xianhuan encountered something that couldn't be refined for the first time in his previous life, and finally thought about improving his strength. Yuan Xianglou didn't even know that Xianhuan could improve his strength. Yan Xianglou didn't know what Xianhuan was thinking. Seeing that it agreed, she immediately mobilized her soul-controlling power and took action quickly. She knew very well that she only had one chance for Xianxia, whose body was occupied by the demon lord. If the demon lord discovered her, she would not have another chance to destroy Xianxia's soul. But no matter how fast she was, when Xianxia's soul showed a painful expression, the demon lord still discovered her intention. It only takes a moment for Xianxia's soul to disappear. After the demon lord noticed Yan Xiangluo's intention, he knew that it was impossible to kill Yan Xiangluo during this trip. He quickly made a decision, and Xianxia's soul wrapped in magic power disappeared. Yan Xiangluo's soul-controlling power has already strangled Xianxia's soul. She can destroy Xianxia's soul with just one force. Her movements only require 1 or 2 breaths, but she is still possessed by the demon in such a short period of time. The master noticed and took away Xianxia's soul. Yan Xiangluo lamented that she was too weak and felt a little regretful at the same time. Why did Xianxia have such a long life? Even though she was like this, her soul could still be taken away by the demon. Could it be that her soul still had any use? The Fragrance Falls Ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 968. Chapter 968, Hiding Deeply. As expected, the body strength of the clone demon who lost his soul body lost the physical strength of the demon. Xianxia's body was instantly burned by the stone nest. It is indeed gone, not even a trace of ashes. Xianhuan was already angry that he could not refine Xianxia's body, so how could he leave a trace of ash on her? The stone nest quickly returned to its original size, and the fire beads automatically returned to Yan Xiangluo. Yan Xiangluo raised her hand to take back the stone nest and fire beads. Even though Xianxia's soul escaped, it was not that nothing was gained. She found a way to kill the clone demon. That means the Heavenly Master cooperates with the monks with the fire spiritual root. The Heavenly Master is responsible for killing the soul body inside, and the fire monk is responsible for destroying the corpse and eliminating traces. Yan Xiangluo, dressed in a bright red shirt, stood in the night sky. Everyone in the inner city and the outer city could see her. After a moment of silence, the outer city was the first to cheer. People in the outer city didn't know the details, so they naturally thought that Yan Xiangluo had refined the demon. She had saved the entire 9 continent. How could they not be excited? From this moment on, Yan Xiangluo had another name besides the name of the miracle doctor, the god of war. For a time, her limelight surpassed that of Zhizhong. Zhizhongfeng's eyes were full of smiles. In this life, his girlish charm was even more prosperous. For a moment, the image of him standing in a high position but unhappy in his previous life appeared in front of his eyes. Zhizhong narrowed his eyes. He would never allow his girl to live like that again in this life, not anyone else. Yan Xiangluo turned to look at Zhizhong. The two looked at each other and smiled from a distance. Yan Xiangluo came from the air. Zhizhong raised his hand to break his isolation pattern and reached out to catch her. Such a scene is so beautiful that people can't bear to break it out loud. Wan Chenjai, Long Moran, and Ge Tianjun looked at the two of them with smiles. The two little ones, Wan Anluo and Chi Hao, raised their heads and looked at them with starry eyes. Everyone around them felt deeply the unspeakable affection between the two. Lu Yu, who was behind the crowd, felt sad as he looked at the two incomparable figures. But at this moment, he understood what mutual love is and what the happiness of love is. It was something he had never dared to hope for. At this moment, he understood that it was not impossible to have it, but he just needed to fight for it. If you want to be happy in the relationship between a man and a woman, you must first keep yourself clean, and secondly, treat each other sincerely. It's a pity that he failed to do both of these things. Hence, Yan Xiongluo's eyes never stopped on him. In fact, he also knew in his heart that even if he did it, Yan Xiongluo would not belong to him. Ji Zhong and Yan Xiongluo came to the high continent from the low continent together, and they have experienced too much together. Especially after experiencing so many tests of life and cultivation in Xuanhuan continent, they can still stay together firmly. Their feelings for each other are so deep that they can no longer be described as sincere. Lu Yu was envious in his heart. I also know that such feelings are too precious in the world. Yan Xiongluo looked at Ji Zhong and said excitedly, "Zhuzhong, I know how to destroy the clone demon." Everyone was surprised. They all saw Yan Xiongluo take out the alchemy furnace and also saw the whole process of the alchemy furnace being burned by fire. They all thought that Xianxia was just burned and trapped in the alchemy furnace. They didn't expect it at all. It was completely burned. Therefore, when he heard her say that there was a way to eliminate the doppelganger, he couldn't help but asked out of curiosity, "Miracle Doctor, did you really eliminate the doppelganger? What method did you use?" Yan Xiongluo looked at everyone and said, "I also discovered it during the refining process, but not everyone can do it. There must be a heavenly master and someone with a flame who can cooperate." "Heavenly master," everyone said in unison. They all reacted immediately and looked at Yan Xiongluo with disbelief. Is she the miraculous doctor or the heavenly master? After all, she had just dealt with the clone demon by herself. They all saw her flames, but they really didn't notice that she used the power of the celestial master. Even the celestial masters among them didn't notice that Yan Xiongluo had used the celestial master's power. The main reason was that the flames of the fire beads were too strong, and Ji Zhong's isolation mysterious pattern made them not aware of it at all. Yan Xiongluo nodded, "What's wrong with me being a heavenly master? My mother is a heavenly master." Everyone was shocked again and turned their attention to Long Moran. This woman looked gentle and had never shown any special talents. In their eyes, she was just the mother of the miracle Dr. Yu Xiongluo. Now they knew that she was actually a human being. The most noble professional heavenly master that people envy. Thinking that Yan Xiongluo's father, Qinjai, was the first place in the last continental competition, and his current cultivation level can be regarded as a strong man in the mainland. Thinking again about Yan Xiongluo's younger brother, although he was only 6 years old, he was a little genius with good cultivation and strength. Then everyone suddenly realized that there was no one in this family who was simple, and they were all hidden. Ji Zhong pulled the conversation over. "Luoluo, tell me how the heavenly master and the person with the flame can cooperate to kill the clone demon." Yan Xiongluo glanced at the people who were obviously curious and explained, "The flame I used to refine the clone demon is the flame of the 5 elements pearl fire pearl. Everyone should know how powerful the 5 elements pearl is, but even the flame of the 5 elements pearl it can only burn Xianxia's clothes and hair, without causing any damage to her body." Everyone also saw what happened just now, but they didn't know that the flames of the fire beads could not do anything to the body of the clone demon. Yan Xiongluo continued, "So, I thought about how to destroy her body. After all, destroying her body is equivalent to killing the clone demon, so I used the power of the heavenly master to check Xianxia's body." Everyone admired her for being so calm under such circumstances. "I saw her soul body being controlled by the demon lord's clone and she was unconscious. I had an idea and thought that if her soul body was destroyed, her body would lose the role of the demon clone." Ji Zhong looked at the people talking with a smile. The lively and real people were right in front of him. He knew that they were different in this life from the previous one. It turns out that my idea was indeed correct. Unfortunately, I was weak and not fast enough for the demon lord to escape. Not only that, he also took away Xianxia's soul. Yan Xianglou explained what happened as simply as possible, and everyone was shocked. Knowing that although Qin Sui's body was destroyed, her soul was taken away by the demon, this was still a hidden danger. Yan Xianglou told them deliberately, not to let them think that she would have nothing to worry about after killing Qin Sui, just to let them understand that the devil is powerful and everywhere. When everyone heard Yan Xianglou say that she was weak and not fast enough, they all thought she was talking about her celestial master being weak. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Fragrance Falls Ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 969. Chapter 969 is very demanding. I don't know at all. What Yan Xianglou said was weak and not fast enough, compared to her previous life and facing the devil. If any of the heavenly masters present were to compete with her, they would be ashamed. The current effect is that although everyone knows the clone demon, everyone is more worried than happy. Under such circumstances, a clone of the demon lord was able to take away Qin Sui's soul. So how powerful is the demon lord? They can't even fight a cloned demon. If one day they face the demon lord himself, they won't be as vulnerable as ants. Zhizhong didn't have as many ideas as they did, because he knew very well how powerful the demon lord was, and it was useless to think too much. He could only improve his strength as soon as possible, and then go to Zhongtian, where they found the holy objects, to find a real way to get rid of the demon lord. This is their journey to eliminate demons, and it has just begun. But they can only know that it is useless to talk to these people present, and he cannot say it because of the restrictions of the mainland level. Just run away. She can't return to Xuanhuan continent without her body. At least Xuanhuan continent is safe now. Zhizhong's words matched perfectly with Yan Xianglou's, a warning and a comfort. After finishing speaking, Zhizhong faced everyone. This time everyone has seen with your own eyes how powerful the demon is. What you are facing today is just the person who has been given some magic power by the clone demon. The magic power they possess is not comparable to that of the demon master, even compared to the clone demon. I think everyone should also know how difficult the task of eliminating demons is. Zhizhong paused and looked at everyone's expressions before continuing. We, as a couple, will find a way to go to Zhongtian later, and then open the passage between Xuanhuan continent and Zhongtian so that more people can go to Zhongtian. Everyone looked at Zhizhong in shock, especially the four current palace masters of Yunzhang Palace. They couldn't help but ask, do you have a way to go to Zhongtian? Zhizhong glanced at the four people. Their purpose was obvious. After all, going to Zhongtian was the wish of all the monks in Xuanhuan continent. Yes, but I don't know yet whether it can be successful. It is not suitable for the general public because the requirements are very high. First, the cultivation level must be at the peak of the 9th level of tribulation. In fact, this person must have the 3 skills of Array Master, Xuanhuan Master, and Weapon Refiner at the same time. And the level must be above the level. Everyone was discouraged as soon as Zhizhong's request came out. Such conditions could not be found in the entire continent. No, everyone looked at Zhizhong in shock. Could it be that he has all 3 of these things, and they are all above the level? He is only 22 years old. How can he practice so many skills at the same time and practice them to the extreme? Don't be disappointed, everyone. As long as we go to Zhongtian, the first thing to do is to open the passage between Xuanhuan continent and Zhongtian. At that time, people with sufficient cultivation level can go to Zhongtian through the passage, which is safer. Zhizhong ignored their thoughts and then stated his final purpose. I hope that all of you present can truthfully publicize what you saw today when you return to your respective turfs, and encourage the monks of the 9 UN continent to work hard to improve their cultivation. You must know that if you really face the devil one day in the future, even if the battlefield is not in Xuanhuan continent, None of us can escape. Jizhong's words made everyone look solemn. They knew that what Jizhong said was the truth. But even if they practice hard, it will be difficult for them to reach the level of their husband and wife in a short period of time. Even if they go to Zhongtian, they still need time to grow up, but will the Demon Lord wait for them to grow up? What role will they play if they really face the Demon Lord one day? Jizhong, who has been in a high position for a long time, naturally saw their thoughts at a glance. When everyone picks up materials, the flames are high, and it is difficult for two fists to defeat four hands. I don't need to explain these principles. Everyone should understand. Everyone's eyes lit up. Yes, there are many of them. Ah, how can you lose your fighting spirit before you even fight? You have to work hard no matter what. After saying this, Jizhong stopped talking about the Demon Lord and said to Xian, immediately arrange for people to go to the outer city to inform the situation, arrange for people to clean the battlefield, and start the banquet again. Jizhong gave instructions in an orderly manner. While everyone was still immersed in their own thoughts, the black feather guards had already neatly carried away all the corpses and disposed of them. In less than a stick of incense, the entire inner city has been cleaned, all the ruined red silk carpets and red lights have been hung up again, and the same meals as the previous banquet have been served again, all cooked by the spiritual chef. The sound of joy also rang. It was as if the previous battle with the doppelganger had never existed. Did Jizhong already know that Xianxia would come during their wedding? Everyone has doubts in their hearts, otherwise someone has prepared a backup for their wedding banquet. Jizhong spoke to his father-in-law and mother-in-law, and then to Ge Tianjun, and left it to them to entertain the guests at the banquet. Jizhong and Yanxiangluo walked hand in hand to their bedroom. Everyone looked at the backs of the two people, and there was an indescribable feeling in their hearts, as if the two people were slowly walking out of their world. But they can't catch up even if they want to. Xuanhuan and Shihao watched their departing figures with admiration, planting a powerful seed in their little hearts that they wanted to become people like their elder sister and brother-in-law, master. Yuchenjai's heart was really relieved at this moment. No matter how he got rid of the demon in the future, now that the clone demon was solved, he immediately warmly greeted everyone to sit down again. Today is the wedding of Jizhong and Yanxiangluo. On such a happy day, even though they have experienced a life and death battle, the young couple are so calm. People like them who have lived hundreds or thousands of years naturally cannot be too cowardly. There is nothing else they can do to cheer up the young couple, but they can still do it. Making today's big day lively is the only thing they can do for them now. People's mentality has changed, and their way of getting along has also changed. Compared with the previous banquet, this time everyone blessed the two of them from the bottom of their hearts. The guests at each table drank happily with each other, and it was more lively and harmonious than before. The people in the outer city became even more excited after knowing what happened in the inner city. Look, the city lord and his wife of Zhuyuan city are so powerful. Even the demon clones were destroyed by their city lord's wife. Suddenly, the entire outer city was even more excited than the inner city. Cheers, celebrations and people running around telling each other about the joy could be seen everywhere. How many years, or even 10,000 years from now will this happen? Wherever there is a wedding in Zhuyuan continent, people will talk about today's grand occasion. The fragrance falls ninefold. Author, Midday Sunday. Chapter 970. Chapter 970, Suitable for the Occasion. Jizhong and Yanxiangluo returned to the palace holding hands, and their battle robes changed again into their wedding attire. There was no one in the palace, and the people watching outside consciously stayed away. Jizhong has already given the order, and no one is needed to serve him. Even the wine glasses for combining the wine were prepared by him and carefully refined by him. They were two identical red wine glasses with auspicious clouds and wishful thinking. In this life, he only hopes that everything goes well for them. The simplest wish is also the most difficult to realize, but in this life he will try his best to realize it. Yan Xianglao looked at the empty wine glass that Jizhong brought, and she could tell at a glance that it was from his hand. The color was her favorite and the style was beautiful. But for Henan wine, you can't just have a wine glass, right? Where's the wine? Looking at him with apricot eyes, he asked, where's the wine? Jizhong looked at her with soft eyes. On our wedding day, we will naturally drink Henan wine brewed by Luo himself. Hua Luo added, just drink the peach blossom wine brewed by Luo. Yan Xianglao heard him mention peach blossom stuffing and immediately understood what he meant. The peach blossom wine Jizhong was talking about was the wine brewed from the peach blossoms in the peach blossom forest below the cave where they first met after breaking off their engagement. Thoughts that the first time they met after breaking off the engagement was when Jizhong was suffering from fetal poisoning, and he saved him, thus starting their marriage in this life. At that time, she was watching the peach blossoms blooming beautifully in that forest, and the fragrance particularly attracted her, so she collected the peach blossom petals and made peach blossom stuffing. She made a lot of wine, but she didn't drink much. There was a lot of wine. Today, drinking peach blossom wine brewed from the peach blossoms there seems to be the right time and the occasion. Okay, Yan Xianglao took out a small jar of peach blossom wine. Jizhong took it, opened the seal and poured 2 glasses of wine. The mellow wine sloshed in the exquisite red wine glass, and the rich peach blossom aroma mixed with the aroma of the wine filled their noses. This wine has been brewed for 3 years. Although it is not considered to be aged for many years based on the year, the wine itself has surpassed the aging process after being handmade by Yan Xianglao, who is an excellent cook. The rich spiritual energy in the wine hit her face. Even Jizhong, who knew that she was extremely skilled in cooking, was a little surprised by the mellow aroma and spiritual energy contained in the wine. If they didn't say it, no one would know that such a rich, mellow, and spiritual wine has only been produced for 3 years. The two linked arms and watched each other take a sip of wine, then exchanged wine glasses and finished the wine. Xiangxiang's previous life is not good for the amount of alcohol. Jizhong watched Yan Xianglao's cheeks dyed with Xianxia, which is more gorgeous than the blooming peach blossoms. The red lips are more seductive than the peach blossom mother who have just been drinking. After 2 lives, the two of them are finally truly together. It would be false to say that they are not excited, but they have thousands of things to say in their hearts, but at this time, they cannot say a word. Jizhong put down the glass of wine and kissed her lips gently. Yan Xianglao closed her eyes and kissed her affectionately, completely connecting the 2 hearts. Jizhong stretched out his arms and hugged his beloved tightly. The two hugged each other like this. Outside the window of the palace was the brightly lit Xuanhuan city. People in the entire city and powerful men in the entire continent were celebrating their wedding. This is a scene they didn't dare to imagine when they first came to Xuanhuan continent a few months ago. The power of faith worshipped by the people of Xuanhuan city continues to enter their bodies, especially Yan Xianglao, because she was the last person to refine Qin Suiyu. The power of faith she received today is greater than that of Jizhong. Need more. Only then did she realize why she was able to suppress the demon lord even if she wasn't there after her master gave her the task of suppressing the demon lord. Mainly it is the power of these beliefs. Therefore, as the power of faith increases, Yan Xianglao clearly senses that the sealing power of the holy object has increased. The room in the palace was gentle. Jizhong raised his hand and lowered the bed curtain, blocking out the noise and celebration outside, as if they were the only 2 people left in the world. At this time, the demon lord's clone that escaped from Qin Suiyu's body has returned to the main body, so the loss is less. If the clone is destroyed, his magic power will be lost a lot. Qin Suiyu's soul body was thrown to the ground by the demon lord. The demon lord no longer controlled her soul body, and Qin Suiyu slowly woke up. As soon as she woke up, Qin Suiyu was confused. Isn't this the place where the demon lord was sealed? Why is she here again? I have already returned to Xuanhuan continent. How did you get here? Get up as soon as you wake up, came the cold voice of the demon lord. Xianxia trembled, stood up quickly, and looked at the demon lord. It was still a mass, and she couldn't see what it looked like. Devil Lord, where is Yanxiangluo? Have you killed her? What is the power in her body that can destroy magic power? Xianxia asked several questions in a row. The demon lord was already very aggrieved, but she felt even more aggrieved after hearing Xianxia's questions. She couldn't answer any of the questions she asked. He is a dignified demon lord, but he was defeated to such an extent by taking action himself. He has never been so cowardly. At this time, Xianxia has not realized that she is only in a soul-body state. The demon lord's gloomy, hoarse, and extremely unpleasant voice said mockingly, "Don't you realize there's something wrong with you?" Xianxia was stunned. What could be wrong with her? She felt that her body was so light and comfortable as she had never felt before. How could something be wrong with her body when it was so comfortable? But the demon lord asked her this, so there must be something wrong. He lowered his head to look at herself, and she was so shocked that she opened her mouth wide and didn't close it for a while. She was completely naked without any clothes. The most important thing was that she found that her body was light and airy, not because it was comfortable, but because it was not a physical body at all. Xianxia stretched out her hand tremblingly and touched her body. Sure enough, she felt nothing. What shocked her even more was that she had no hair at all and was bald. What happened? How did she become like this? It was already ugly enough to be a doppelganger, but now he has become bald and even has no body. The state of her soul body indicates her state before death. Did she die so miserably? Demon Lord, what's going on? Xianxia asked in horror. Didn't she just lend her body to the demon lord for a while? Why did he become a soul body? The demon lord's voice sounded again, as you can see, you are already dead, and your body has been burned by Yanxiangluo's alchemy furnace. The reason you are still standing here is because I brought you back, otherwise you're out of your mind right now. Xianxia was stunned after hearing the demon lord's words. She quickly realized that it seemed that the demon lord had used her body to not only fail to kill Yanxiangluo, but also to destroy her own body.